Hello again, and in this video we will be talking about my coaching method. So I trained to become an English teacher in the traditional sense, where I was working in companies and for other people's language schools, one-on-one online as well. And during this time, I found that not only was I helping people with their language skills, but a lot of it was actually focusing on their confidence and developing this new identity and moving beyond these things that held them back personally. And this was affecting their personal lives, their professional lives. They wanted to move abroad, but they weren't brave enough, or they wanted to go for promotions, but they felt that their English was not good enough, and ultimately that they are not good enough. And I drifted away from being a teacher in the traditional sense. I was also focusing on other areas that crossed more into coaching. So I decided to take a life coaching qualification. And with that, I then acquired these coaching skills. So we're able to deeply work through these issues that you may have about your confidence or self-esteem, anything that holds you back, or becoming a new version of yourself. Because of course, if we're speaking in a new language, everything is foreign. This person that we are becoming is also foreign because we're not familiar with this voice and this person that we're being in another language. We need to develop that. My coaching, first of all, it combines these two elements together. I, of course, utilize my knowledge as a teacher and as an English native and somebody who has also completed academic programs. I have masters and undergrad. So I'm combining all of these skills together, and I've created my own method. But also what makes me different is that, unlike traditional English teaching methods, I really focus on language production and language acquisition. So language production is the ability to produce language, be that through speaking or from your mind and putting it down into written form. It is communication. It is producing the language that you know. So to be able to produce language freely, we need to be able to acquire language. And acquiring language is having it on a deeper memory level. So everything that we are working with is our brain. So as I mentioned in the last video, you have spent years perhaps memorizing things, and this is not what we do. It focus on production and acquisition, which is getting it in a deeper brain level. Memorization is just surface level, which is why you can communicate easily in some situations, and it's usually to the point that your native language is the same as English, and then it changes and you get stuck at these points. You can't communicate beyond that point. If that's what's happening and you're translating, you need acquisition. So my program that I have created, my method, is think English, feel English, and speak English. So step one, think English. This is where we really connect your native language to English, so that if you are somebody who is really freezing, you're forgetting what you want to say, you're panicking, and you're unable to process English fluently and naturally in your brain, we will not be able to get this out when you go to speak. So we really deal with the language issues at this stage, and also making sure that your brain understands the deeper functions of English grammar. So we strongly connect and focus here on the language, exploring the deeper functions. What does it do? What is the purpose of this language, this grammar function? Where is this similar or different to that of your native language? And you really gain the ability to process English. Stage two, this is feel English, and this is where the English communication skills and tools come in. So I not only teach you the language itself, but I also explain how it feels as an English native. Is this grammar structure perhaps more rude? Is it more polite? Is it direct? Is it indirect? And these really are the ways that you can make language come to life, because English, you have a lot of freedom in the way that you say things. And of course, our cultural communication style, especially in Britain, is not the same as it might be for you coming from Taiwan or China or Russia, if you're a Slavic language, if you're from France. Some of our elements might be similar, but again, we are all of our own unique places. And unfortunately, if you're speaking with English natives, you cannot just take how you communicate in your native language and put it into this new language. It does not work. You might end up offending somebody, or at worst, I would say that you are disconnected from people. So this really is what ties us together as a culture and a language. So how to feel with this language, and so you know what to do with it and how to use it in real situations. Stage 3 is speak English. So this is where the language production really comes into place. We take everything that we have learned in step 1, think English, step 2, feel English, and now we are focusing on production. So this is the space that you can really develop your own speaking style. You can practice things in your own situations and scenarios. So for example, if you have meetings that you give regularly, or that you work with your clients or your colleagues, we recreate those situations so you can practice speaking for those situations. And so speak English, it gives you the space to produce language. I hope that now, having had an overview of the method, you can understand how it all comes together and why it is not just enough to simply memorize language. It really will just get you to fail, because you don't have all the deeper tools that you need in order to express yourself. And with this method, you can absolutely express yourself, because it has helped hundreds of people already. And if I'm honest with you, it's also the same method that I use myself learning my new language, Slovenian, because as I said, I also had the same problem. So really it's helping a lot, and I'm still at the beginner level. So if you are somebody who's of course much further in your English knowledge, you're going to be speaking freely and fluently in no time. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.